Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, guys.
So what happened?
Well, I set the alarm this morning for 8, and we hit snooze a couple times, and then I was pretty sure we were awake. So I just decided after it went off again, I just decided to turn it off. And Allie's like, just hit snooze one more time. And I was like, well, I already turned it off. So, yeah. And so we're like, okay, we'll just lay here for a second. And then before I know it, I wake up and it's 9:30. She has a doctor's appointment at 9:50. And it's not exactly close. So, yeah, that happened.
So back onto ovulation station, or so like Mr. Black likes to call it. Today was the day I was supposed to be ovulating according to my period tracker on my phone, and I swear, you guys, I am literally one of you could set your clock by my period. It's ridiculous. Like when it's supposed to come, it comes. When I'm supposed to ovulate, I'm supposed to ovulate. And I feel like my last gynecologist cursed me because what I thought he had said to me was a little bit ridiculous and whatever. So it's crazy, but like I said, you can usually set a time to me. You can set your day around my cycle, and today was the day I was supposed to ovulate, but I didn't. The ovulation little tester is still, the test line is really light, and usually it gets a little bit darker. And if you haven't been watching since Thursday of last week or whatever, or I don't even think I've been vlogging since Thursday of last week or whatever, last Thursday I ended up starting to test, which was I can't remember how many days past my period, but 5 days after my period. And I feel like in my mind that was the darkest line, and I got really scared because I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, one of my donations wasn't until early Saturday, and then the other one's not going to be until today. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? I'm like, if I already ovulated on Thursday, I'm just wasting everybody's time, and I don't know, and it just sucks. And you know what? Who knows? This period started 2 days late, so maybe, I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe I'll ovulate 2 days later. I don't know. But so I just got out of the doctor, and so I'm deficient in vitamin D, which is easy enough. I gotta go stand in the sun and go take some vitamin D supplements. I'll be taking those for the next 8 weeks because I'm just really low. I'm slightly anemic, which is always, that's an Allie Chan fact. It's always there. And I am also, my thyroid levels are off. It's in the hypo range. And the only thing I can, I'm kind of beating myself up about it right now, but I shouldn't, because it's not like it matters. But, it's not that it matters, it's just that there's nothing I can do about it. It's just that, my first gynecologist, when I was pregnant the first time, I had told him about it. And it's I don't know what it is, if it's just because of my age, and I'm young, so whatever, or if it's a doctor complex, that oh, I know more than you do, or if maybe I just come off one of those worry wards that has read about every possible little thing that could go wrong. But I mean, I've had this ongoing thyroid problem for years now, so of course I know everything that it entails, and I'm not one of those type of people to just walk into something without not knowing all of what could happen. So of course, when me and Raymond decided that we were gonna, start a family, I decided to read about everything that could go, that could happen, and whatever. So having thyroid issues and all this, that, and the other, that's one of the big main things that you have to get checked pretty often, because pregnancy changes your thyroid, it just changes the levels. And I don't actually have a thyroid. I got it removed with radioactive iodine a few years ago, so all of my actual hormones are controlled with a pill. So I don't actually make them anymore because I don't have a thyroid gland. Whatever. So I ended up telling this first gynecologist this, and he's like, oh yeah, that's not going to be an issue. I'm like, nah, I don't think so, dude. I'm like, I don't want to offend you, but I think it is, because everything I've read in books and online and all of the research I have done has pointed to that, yeah, it is kind of a big of an issue. And he's like, oh yeah, no, we'll get it tested, we'll get them checked out. I'm like, great, whatever. So they And then there was whatever. I think I kind of not annoyed him, but we had different views. So by the time I had left, he was refusing to talk to me. He was talking to his nurse through his nurse. So whatever. And they had given me the paper to get my blood test. And like I said, you guys, I've been having thyroid blood work done for years now. Like, I know what it looks like and this, that, and the other. And I had glanced at the paperwork, because like I said, I'm crazy, to make sure that all of the tests were in order and everything, and that he listened to me, because he did kind of, you know, wishy-washy push me aside with my concerns about my thyroid levels. And I couldn't see anything on there that even remotely resembled anything. And I was all like, about that, anything that had to do with any blood work of like thyroids. And granted, I know I'm not a doctor, so I can't be like, oh yes, and, you know, be like, oh, it's not here. But I had brought it up to his nurse before we checked out. I'm like, and he ordered my thyroid levels to be checked, right? And she's like, oh yeah. It's like, he ordered this, so, you know, it was like some pregnancy panel, blah blah blah, I don't know what number. It's like, yeah, that's included in there. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's all I wanted to know. And then lo and behold, I go get my blood work test, like my and my blood work, or I get my blood taken, and then it ended up being some issue that they couldn't even find it. It was just a bunch of drama with that gynecologist, but whatever, so they couldn't find it, blah 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 blah. I ended up having to go to Quest Diagnostics myself to find it, because they couldn't find any results, and they hadn't had it yet, even though they should have had it like a week before, and it was just ridiculous. And it was funny, because I actually asked the people at Quest, and they told me they'd have it in like 3 days. And I got my blood work done on, I think, a Thursday. So I was like, oh, by Tuesday they'll have it, because obviously people don't work on Sundays. Saturdays maybe, but I'm like, you know what, Tuesday for sure they'd have it. And I called on Tuesday, they didn't have it, this, that, and the other. And it ended up being that he never even, like, I never even got it tested. So I was like, great. And then everyone knows what happened later, and then I had ended up miscarrying like a week later. So I don't want to be a jerk, and you know what, I'm just gonna flat out say it. I feel like me and him, like, we killed our baby, like my baby. That's what I feel like. And I know that that's pretty like harsh, and I'm sure I won't feel like this in a few hours, but as of right now, that's what I feel like. And Raymond's trying to tell me that there was nothing we could do, because there isn't. I'm not a doctor, and whatever, but I just feel like I should have been more proactive about, I don't know, getting that test done. But like, what could I have done? I know that I did everything I could have, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if you did it? What if, I don't know. So it sucks. And then, like I said, I shouldn't hold that against him either, because who knows? I mean, he really could have, or it could have been that baby just, you know, it just wasn't going, it would, no matter what I did, it wasn't going to stick. But it just sucks. And it just sucks, because I'm not the type of person to just like waltz into this. So I've been trying, you know, to make sure that everything was, I don't know, on point and good. And for me to find out about this nonsense like that, it's just ridiculous. So what can I do? Eating what is it, Sophie's Kitchen tuna sandwich? Tuna, black pepper tuna. Mr. Black made it into sandwiches. Obviously mine has tomatoes, his doesn't. Where are we going?
We're gonna go to the gynecologist appointment.
Yay! And like earlier today, we're running late to that as well, because why not? So, being a man that doesn't like anything that reminds you of seaweed or fish or anything, how does this vegan tuna, like, you know, score on your tongue taste buds?
I wouldn't eat it again.
You would? You wouldn't?
No, I would not. It has an aftertaste of like what I vaguely remember tuna being. Like, when I burped, it like reminded me of fish, like almost like how when you take a fish oil pill, which is kind of gross. And as far as the texture, I don't like the texture. It's kind of like, it's hard, but it's not, almost like tuna that's been left out. And it like just doesn't feel good in my mouth. It soaks in oil, which is just in my brain is disgusting. I feel like it should be soaking in water, but I guess then the integrity of the product wouldn't stick. So yeah, overall it was just gross. I mean not gross, disgusting. I think the flavor isn't that bad, but just not something I would eat again. I'd rather just have a sandwich with just hummus and lettuce on it.
Would you rather make garbanzo tuna?
Yes, I do prefer that.
Alright, then you heard it first. Raymond does not like the sandwich. I got ouchies taken. I got blood sangre taken from my soul. Raymond's been having a poopy day. He still doesn't feel good thanks to that oil-filled sandwich. And he's also crying underneath his sunglasses because he found out that his vegan Miracle Whip, it's expiring sooner than what he thought.
Because I'm not right-handed.
You're not?
No, I'm left-handed.
How much of the curl you want off? All of it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is happening. Danny in the back is over there gonna cry.
I'm just shaking my head.
Hey man, at least I'm cutting it straight.
Yeah.
Danny in the back is over there gonna cry.
Just shaking my what? Oh, sorry.
You good?
Danny's like, don't even blind.
Yeah, he needs his eyes, right?
Danny can only remember. The only thing that's going through Danny's head right now is that botch haircut you gave me that one time. She's like, my boyfriend's gonna look like Zach. Or my boyfriend's gonna look like Zach. Zach's gonna look like Allie. You gave me that one time. She's like, my boyfriend's gonna look like Zach.
Straight.
And it's down over there.
Yeah, I just did the front part. You still got these flippies in the very back though.
Hey, get rid of those.
He's gonna have a bowl cut by the end of this.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Zach, what if you feel ugly?
I already feel ugly with these stupid curls.
Zach doesn't feel ugly. He just has no shame.
0% shame.
I've had those curls like forever, and Danny's like, look at the haircut. I'm like, I hate the curls so much.
Alright.
Look at me, Zach.
Beautiful.
Look at me.
Hi.
That shit is so angled. Look.
Yeah, I know, like, that's fine, right?
Alright, everybody. Today's been a pretty craptastic day, but my friends did come over. Several friends came over today, which was good. And at the end of the day, you just gotta keep on trucking through no matter how you feel. But, I know, another very boring day in the life of Allie and Ray, but that is our lives, and what can you do? Here is Mr. Blackie Bear. He should be sleeping. Why aren't you sleeping?
I can't sleep because there was a car alarm going off for like 15 minutes, and it like put my brain on overwire, and now I've been looking at my phone this whole time, and now I'm awake, and it's 11:15, and I have to be up at 5.
Is it still going, the alarm?
No, it's off, but I still feel wired.
Poor baby. Say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.